Dave Parody here with another slide makeover video podcast based on the ideas in my book, The Visual Slide Revolution. Today's slide comes from one of my consulting clients, and they sent me a presentation that they are putting together to market or sell their opportunity to potential people who would get involved, and it's a relationship or network marketing opportunity. And here's one of the slides that they used. And it is a slide that shares with us statistics from an industry trade association. And it's statistics about this industry and showing people that this is an industry that's not small, it's large, it's significant, it's growing. It's a fairly significant, almost $2 billion industry. And it is important to sometimes in our presentations share statistics. But too often statistics are shared as this is, with a ton of text and numbers. We need to make these statistics more approachable for people to understand and to appreciate what does that statistic mean to me. So what I did is I keyed on the second bullet point, which talks about how many people are associated or involved in this particular industry. And here's the slide that I created. There's 1.3 million Canadians who are associated with relationship marketing, and then a series of photos of different people of different ages, genders, all sorts of different backgrounds, so that if somebody's looking at this, they'll go, yeah, I can identify with that scene or that group of people or type of people. Yeah, I can see myself as part of this particular opportunity. And what this slide does is it makes that statistic of 1.3 million people a lot easier to relate to because we can actually see the people. And so our lessons from today's makeover, it's a very simple makeover, but there's some very important lessons to learn. First of all, when you are presenting people-based statistics, so in this case it was 1.3 million people are involved in the industry. First, the point of the statistic is actually what should be the headline. So 1.3 million people was the actual point. What we were saying is it's big. It's a large industry. There's a lot of people involved in this. So that becomes the headline. Far too often we use a headline that is really just a topic and it doesn't tell people what they need to do. The first step in my 5-step quick method that's in the book talks about creating a headline that summarizes the point of this particular slide. So we make the point of the statistic the headline, and then we use photos instead of what would again we used far too often, which are text or numbers or tables. So instead of writing it out, typing it out, having all the numbers, use actual photographs. And those photos should be representative. By that I mean people can identify with them in their own situation. One of the key principles of persuasion that Professor Robert Cialdini talks about in his book, and I refer to it and talk about it in my book, The Visual Slide Revolution, is the whole principle of social proof. We look to others to see what do others do, and then assign value to that. If it's acceptable that they do it, then probably it's acceptable that we do it. And we do this everything from seeing movies, going to restaurants, and in presentations. If we see someone like us who's involved in this industry, we go, well, if they're involved in the industry and they're like me, I guess I could be involved too. So the photos you select need to be representative of the people or the situation that it is that you are trying to depict in this particular point in your presentation. The final lesson, make sure you have permission to use the photos. It was interesting. My client asked me, gee, where did you get all those photos? They were great, nice and representative. Where did you get them? All of those photos came from the Microsoft gallery of images that they have available in PowerPoint. And they're all available for you to use. There's over 150,000 items in that library, and you can use them through easy to use tools right within PowerPoint. The searches that library by default. I've got a training video on how you find photos for your slides, and it shows you exactly how to find photos within that Microsoft library. But make sure you have permission to use them. If you're purchasing them, make sure that you have permission depending on what use you're making. But when you're presenting people-based statistics, don't make it about the statistic, make it about the people, because that's really what your audience wants to learn about. How does this relate to me? How can I identify with what this statistic really means to me? For more information on the book, you can go to www.visualsliderevolution.com. For more information on my training, my consulting, the other resources that I have, the videos, you can go to www.ThinkOutsideTheSlide.com. Again, this has been Dave Parody with another Slide Makeover video podcast.